welcome to our program Where God Weeps, a program where we talk about the reality of the Catholic Church around the world. Kerala is a region in the southwest of India. The eparchy of Kothamangalam is located in this Indian state. It was erected as an eparchy by Pope Pius XII in 1956. The region of Kerala has the highest human development index in the country. It also has the highest literacy rate, the lowest homicide rate, and the highest life expectancy. Kerala has witnessed a significant immigration of its people, especially to the Persian Gulf countries. Hinduism is practiced by more than half of the population, followed by Islam and Christianity. And to learn more about the reality of this region in India, we have the visit of Monsignor George Madathikandathil, Bishop of Kerala. Welcome, Monsignor.
Thank you.
You come from a region that has a very, very old Christian tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, the origins go really back to the Apostle St. Thomas.
First century.
First century of a Christian era.
Yeah.
Briefly, tell us a little explanation of this history of Christianity in this region in India.
Yeah. St. Thomas, the apostle, came to southern part of India in 52 AD. And he evangelized the people in that region. And he went to Tamil Nadu, another state in South Indian. And then he was martyred in 72 AD. That was the tradition. And from that time onwards, we have believers in Christ, Christian believers in that area, especially in the south of India. And from 4th century onwards, we have a relationship with the Chaldean church. Chaldean tradition. From Iraq, we have the trade relations between India and the Middle East and even to Rome, the Roman Empire. We have trade relations. And because of these trade relations, the traders used to come to India for buying pepper, especially pepper, and cardamom. And so the missionaries came to India with these traders. And in the 4th century onwards, we had the bishops from Chaldean church, Iraq. And then it went on till 15th century. That means we have the Christian community in the area, in Kerala, especially in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and the bishops came from this Chaldean church. We did not have our own bishops at that time. And in the 16th century, that means middle of the 16th century, the Latin missionaries, especially from Spain, Portugal, and England, they came to India, and we had this relationship with the European missionaries. And in 1653, there was a division among the Christian faithful. They separated into two fractions. One is called one belonged to the Catholic Church, and they were faithful to the Catholic Church, and they accepted the predominance of the Latin missionaries and the Pope. In
full communion with the
church.
Vicar of Christ in the Roman See.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And other section, they went separated, and they later followed the Orthodox or Jacobite Antiochian rite.
And those are the ones called the Thomas Christians?
No, they were also called Thomas Christians, but now they are called Jacobites or Orthodox. They are also divided into other groups again. But the Catholic Church remained the same. And in 1889, we had the Syro-Malabar Church had their own vicariate for the church, independent of the Latin hierarchy. And in 1923, the Syro-Malabar hierarchy was established. And so now, at present, we have in India, there are 3 rites. That means Latin rite, Syro-Malabar rite, and Syro-Malankara rite.
And the reality of Kerala, Monsignor, it's quite different from other regions in India. I mean, India is such a vast territory that it's almost like really a continent in its own. It's not the same reality. There are not the same challenges what you face in the south, what's going on in the north. So what are the particular challenges that you have in this region?
In Kerala, we have this Catholic population, around 18% Catholic population in Kerala. But in India, altogether, only 2%.
So it's a significant presence of Christians in the region.
Catholics in the region. And also, you see, the people in Kerala are educated people.
They have the highest literacy rate in the whole country.
In the whole country.
Well, in general, it's very prosperous. It has the highest human development rate. It has the lowest homicide rate. It has this very balanced relationship between, the ratio between men and women in terms of births. So it's really a very prosperous, well-organized region.
Till now, I don't know exactly what happens next. Because I will say. But in the north, the situation is different.
Completely different,
Different. And in Kerala also, now the influence of the Western culture slowly comes to our culture and our population. Because the families, there are only 1 or 2 children at present. So the family situation is not so conducive for priestly occasion and religious occasion. And also the people are working outside Kerala or outside India. There are so many people from Kerala working all over the world.
Yeah, I know. You have a very high immigration. Particularly to the Persian Gulf region.
Persian region, and also in the United States, in the United Kingdom, in European countries, there are many people. So they have money. And since they have money, slowly all the laziness also we can say, the indifference also may creep into the culture in the future. That's why I said
materialism and consumerism.
Materialism and consumerism is slowly coming to our culture. That is a difficult situation. We don't know what is in future. So the church is always aware of these things. And the church is always insisting on the welfare of the family. The family is the basic unit of the church. So always we are insisting that the married life and family life is very important in the church. So we are organizing the parishes into small units. That means around 20 to 30 families together. They come together once in a month and pray together and discuss together the matters. And so there is a protection in a way. So all the parishes are organized in such a way that the small units, and there are leaders for these units. And this year, especially because of the year of faith, we organize these type of small units, family units in all of our eparchies or dioceses. So in a way, we can protect the children and also the family
The
life.
family. So this is part of your pastoral plan to attend for the family needs.
Yeah.
Now, there is another very interesting data from the region, Monsignor, and it's the number of vocations to the priesthood in your area.
Yeah, we can say it is increasing, but for women it is decreasing.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. For men, there's no much decrease, but for women, the problem is that nowadays in a family, 1 or 2 children, and so they are in the childhood onwards, they are oriented towards medicine, studying engineering, studying technology, and in a way they are oriented. So that's why I say in the future, I don't know what will be the situation.
Interesting. So this prosperous situation might have a darker side.
Yeah, other side. That's why we are concentrating on the families. Because if we have the families with an atmosphere of faith, atmosphere of prayer, then we will have this occasion. Otherwise, and now the church promotes larger families. We are giving incentives for third child, fourth child, free education for the third child and fourth child. So
but wouldn't that be a very unpopular idea to promote nowadays in India when so many programs of contraception and talking about overpopulation? So isn't it difficult for the church to talk about the incentive of having more children?
We always promote large families because it is the providence of God. It is the plan of God. Not our. Because
That's right.
In India, we have sufficient materials, we have sufficient resources, but the distribution is the problem. There are very rich people. I think the Europeans are below. There are certain people who are very rich, and there are poor people also. So the distribution of the resources, that's very important. The church always insists on this, just distribution of resources. In our communities also, in our parishes also, we insist on this. So children are the gift of God. So if we have more children, that means more blessings from God.
Monsignor, this discrepancy in the distribution of wealth, do you think that it is connected somehow with the caste system that has prevailed in the country for centuries?
I don't think now. Now it is not the situation. Because the low caste people, they have different privileges. They have several advantages if they come to the forefront. But the problem is that the politicians, they may not allow the people to come to the forefront. That's why the politicians are not willing to accept the missionaries there. The politicians are not willing to propagate faith, especially Catholic faith, because, most of the leaders in India, even the politicians, they are trained in Christian institutions. If we go to the village, we immediately start a school there, and then people become educated. They will not come under these people. They will not stay under the people, under the landlords. So they are afraid of it. That's why they are not promoting this evangelization or anything. So actually the politicians, they are making problems in the country because they amass money for themselves and for their relatives and their dependents.
So they in their own interest, they try to maintain the status quo.
Status quo, yeah. That's why in North India, that's why in South India, in Kerala especially, the literate people, they go outside, they make money, there's no freedom, there's no lack of freedom there.
But it's a completely different story up in the north.
Because we had the education from early times. But in North India, the situation is different. If we go for any establishment of any schools, they will always come with a prohibition. It is not possible because we are coming to evangelize, to convert people. Conversion is not allowed. So they are making objections because they know that if the people become educated, the status quo cannot be maintained.
So you really, in your opinion, you think that this is part of the root of problems and tragic events like the Orissa tragic events that happened there a few years ago?
Mainly because nowadays there are irreligious people and fanatic people. Both are same. Irreligious and fanatic. So the thing is that the fanatic people, they are not religious at all, because in every religion, God is a loving Father. Isn't it? Every religion is so. God is a loving Father. Any religion, I don't think any religion says that the other religion is bad or other people are bad. All religious people, genuine religious people think that we are children of God. So there is no conflict between the religions. But fanatics and irreligious people, I equate both together. And they believe that the other religions are evil. So they cannot be received or they cannot be tolerated. That's the problem.
And in Kerala, what is the relationship between Christians in general, Hindus and Muslims? Is it a good?
Usually they coexist. There's no much problem among the Christians, Hindus and Muslims. Nowadays the number of Muslims is growing, because in the family there are 6 or 7 children in a Muslim family.
They don't have this contraceptive culture.
Yeah. Right. That's the thing. So their number is increasing, but there's no much or quarrel or something. No problem. They coexist with peace. But in North India, in Hindus and Muslims may have in certain places some tensions. That is because of this fanaticism of the Hindus and fanaticism of the Muslims. That's all.
And talking about another challenge and another reality of India, Monsignor, in recent years we saw some very sad episodes about violence against women.
Yeah.
Not in your region in particular, because as a matter of fact, women have a very good situation, let's say, in the Kerala region. But in other parts of the country, women are facing really constant threats for their own safety and security. Why is this, Monsignor?
That is because of this, it is not a general trend. It is not a general trend. It is because of certain persons, they are against women, and this also their fundamentalistic view against women. And also they believe that the women should be under men. Their status, they should not be equal to men. That is the mentality of certain people. And another thing is that there is evil everywhere. And these people are exploiting these women, and children also are exploited. That is, I don't think it is a change of mentality, but because of the persons, individual persons. And there is no religious or any influence in that way. I don't think so. Because of the individual and also the egoistic tendency of the people. That's all, I think so.
How would you define the main challenges that you have in your eparchy and particular needs that the church has there?
In my own eparchy, the people, as we discussed earlier, people are having the materialistic and consumeristic attitude slowly coming to the culture, because many are going out for working outside India and they get money, and they are egoistic and selfish motives, and so they may not have a spiritualistic attitude or spiritual outlook is gradually diminishing in a way, we can say. But on the other hand, there are people who are very spiritual. They are giving 1/10 of the wealth to the poor people, and then there are many retreat centers. People are attending more and more retreats, and they are coming to the church more fervently. So there is two types of people, we can say. And that's why we say that the parishes should be strengthened, families should be strengthened. So the first challenge I meet is that the family should be prayerful and religious families, and also there should be a communion among the family members, and among the parish members there should be a communion. So the Catholic Church always insists on the communion of the faithful. So we are gradually introducing this concept. It is already there, but we are reinforcing, because since this is the year of faith, we are planning several programs for the conclusion of the year of faith. One thing is this: we gather the leaders of the parishes. Leaders means there may be 150 or 120 leaders in a parish. That means 5 to 10 families, small units. And these small units gather once in a week or twice in a week together, and they pray together, and they have one leader. And so in that way, there may be 100 or around 100 leaders in a parish, and they come together, they pray together once in a month, the leaders alone. So in that way, we can foster this communion among the people.
A very strong sense of community.
Yeah. So that communion will lead the people to the church, belonging to the church, that sense of belonging to the church. That is our intention. So, and also we have, for example, we declared the November 22nd as the day of fasting in all the parishes in my diocese. And that fasting, everybody may take the fasting, and they get the spending money for that parish alone, give the poor people. So in a way, they feel that they are doing something for the poor people. So we are planning in such a way that, and one day adoration day, in the whole diocese, all the parishes, we have this adoration, one day adoration. So everybody can come and adore God for some time, 1 or 2 weeks, for 1 or 2 hours. So in that way, a communion is building up, and that will protect the people from going astray. And also the children, if they have this ambience, then they can grow in faith. And also occasions can be promoted in such a way that if we have faith in the family, we have prayer in the family, prayer in the family units, they can foster their occasion.
Their vocation.
Yeah.
Well, Monsignor, we really want to thank you for this opportunity to get to know this very fascinating and vibrant area of India that it's so promising for the Universal Church. Thank you very much, Monsignor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us in another program of Where God Weeps. If you want to know more about the church in Kerala, don't hesitate in contact the information at the end of this program. Thank you and God bless.